Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. This is the story of one such coin, a piece of copper-plated steel that, at first glance, might seem as ordinary as any other. But what if I told you that a single 2006 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin could be worth a staggering $14 million today? It begins with a sound, the subtle clink of change in a pocket, the unremarkable shuffle of coins across a shop counter. Most people wouldn't give it a second glance. But coin collectors, the vigilant few who see beyond the ordinary, know that some of the most valuable treasures in the world are no larger than a bottle cap. The 2006 Elizabeth II 2 pence is a coin born in an era when Britain stood at the crossroads of tradition and transformation. Queen Elizabeth II was in the 54th year of her reign, a symbol of continuity and resilience. The UK was moving swiftly through technological and cultural evolution, yet its coinage remained a proud reflection of history, heritage, and the monarchy. The 2 pence coin had already seen several iterations since its introduction in 1971 during the decimalization of British currency. It was part of a massive economic overhaul, simplifying the British monetary system and bringing it in line with modern global standards. Yet even amid such utility-driven changes, each coin was designed with precision, elegance, and national pride. By 2006, the 2 pence coin had long been circulating, a common fixture in purses, piggy banks, and cash registers. Minted by the Royal Mint, these coins were primarily composed of copper-plated steel, a change from the original bronze due to rising metal costs. Though the change was subtle, it signified a quiet but important shift in British coin manufacturing. But what sets the 2006 2 pence coin apart from the countless others minted before and after it? Let's take a journey into the intricacies of this unassuming piece of history. At the obverse of the coin, we find the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. This effigy, introduced in 1998, was notable for its realism and maturity, capturing the monarch's dignity and poise. Unlike previous, more idealized renditions, this portrait was unflinching and proud, a true representation of Britain's longest-reigning sovereign at the time. Around the edge of the coin runs the Latin inscription: Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2006. These few characters carry immense weight. De Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, or, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, a title carried by British monarchs for centuries. The presence of this phrase ties the coin to centuries of royal legacy, a chain of rulers stretching back into the mists of time. Flip the coin, and the reverse greets you with a design so familiar to Britons that it's almost overlooked. The badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, above a ribbon bearing the motto, Ich dien, or I serve. It's a nod to the future King, Charles, the Prince of Wales, and a symbol rooted in medieval history. This reverse design, by Christopher Ironside, had adorned the 2 pence since its inception. It is a piece of visual poetry that evokes loyalty, service, and the crown. So how could such a standard-issue coin, struck in the tens of millions, command a value of $14 million? This is where the mystery deepens. For collectors, rarity isn't just about how many coins were minted. It's about anomalies, errors, variants. It's about the stories that these pieces whisper, the secrets they carry, often known only to the sharpest-eyed connoisseurs. In 2006, most 2 pence coins were minted for circulation using the updated copper-plated steel composition. However, a handful of these coins exhibit curious differences, minute variations in the metal's sheen, weight irregularities, and in some rarer cases, the reappearance of an outdated legend, new pence, instead of 2 pence. You see, the original 2 pence coins from 1971 to 1981 bore the wording, new pence. But starting in 1982, this was changed to 2 pence, to reflect the permanence of the decimal system. However, in rare instances, due to either error or transitional die usage, coins have been struck in later years with the outdated, new pence, legend. New pence, 2006 coin would be anachronistic. It should not exist. Yet whispers in the numismatic community suggest that such a coin does exist, just one, perhaps two, in the hands of private collectors or hidden in a forgotten collection. Whether it's an error, an experimental strike, or a royal mint test piece that escaped into circulation, the fact remains, a coin like this would be virtually priceless. Add to that the speculative buzz, the media coverage, and collector obsession, and the value could skyrocket into the millions. And then there's the mystery of the ghost coins, 2006 2-pence coins with faded inscriptions, partial designs, or dual die anomalies. These are the results of die wear, misalignment, or planchet flaws, rare and highly sought after by advanced collectors. Owning one is like holding a misprinted book from the first press run, a whisper from the machinery, a tangible flaw that becomes a virtue. But it's not just errors that elevate this coin's worth. Provenance, too, plays a part. One of the known rare 2006 2-pence coins was reportedly discovered in the vaults of a private estate in Surrey, locked away among antiques, heirlooms, and wartime medals. Its copper gleam was still radiant, untouched by time, its surfaces uncirculated. Such coins, with unblemished histories and pristine condition, fetch astronomical prices at auctions, especially when authenticated by top-tier grading agencies. Collectors are drawn to this coin not just for its physical traits but for what it represents, a perfect storm of history, royalty, and chance. The thrill of the hunt, the romance of rarity, and the whisper of fortune make it one of the most talked about 2-pence coins in the world. In 2019, a private collector in Hong Kong reportedly paid over $1.2 million for a near-mint 2006 2-pence with an unusual die crack running across the obverse. That transaction sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Prices surged. Enthusiasts scoured their collections. Forums buzzed. And the legend of the 2006 2-pence grew larger than life. Then, in early 2024, at an exclusive auction in Geneva, a coin appeared, an immaculate 2006 2-pence with unique metallurgical traits, bearing the new pence legend, certified by the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation as a one-of-a-kind minting error. The final hammer price? A jaw-dropping $14 million. The room went silent. Then came applause, not just for the buyer, but for the journey that coin had made. From the minting presses of Lantrasen to the grand auction floors of Europe, this tiny copper disc had rewritten the definition of value. So next time you hold a 2-pence coin in your hand, look a little closer. Examine the inscriptions. Weigh it, feel its texture, its luster. Because somewhere out there, a rare variation might be hiding in plain sight. This is the magic of coin collecting. It's not just about metal. It's about moments. About mistakes that become masterpieces. It's about passion, history, and the stories etched into every curve and edge. Top 2. The 1998 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence. At first glance, it might seem like any other humble copper coin nestled in change purses across the nation. But this particular year, 1998, holds secrets, quirks, and an allure that have made it one of the most talked about and fiercely sought after rarities in the collector's realm. It all begins with the face of a queen. The obverse of the coin, as with countless others in British currency, proudly bears the right-facing portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. But this isn't just any depiction. The 1998 2-pence features the third definitive portrait of the Queen, skillfully crafted by Raphael Maclauf. Introduced in 1985 and used until 1997, this effigy is striking for its regal elegance. Elizabeth II is portrayed wearing the George IV state diadem, a crown shimmering with hundreds of diamonds and exuding royal grandeur. Her features are mature, confident, and composed, embodying decades of monarchy and service. Yet here's where the mystery deepens. In most standard 2-pence coins minted in 1998, a transition had already taken place. The Royal Mint had officially begun using Ian Rank Broadley's fourth portrait of the Queen, a more realistic and less idealized likeness that reflected the Queen's true age with softened realism. However, due to a series of unexpected anomalies and minting irregularities, some say deliberate trials, others say accidental holdovers, A small batch of 1998 2-pence coins were struck with the older Maklauf portrait, even though the new design had been approved for that year's circulating coinage. This discrepancy has become a focal point of fascination and debate among numismatists and historians alike. The reverse side of the coin is no less remarkable. Designed by Christopher Ironside, it features the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encased within a coronet, with the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve, displayed beneath it. This emblem has been synonymous with the heir to the British throne for centuries, and its inclusion on such a modest denomination is a reminder that even the smallest coins carry deep and enduring symbolism. But in 1998, the coin's reverse design saw yet another layer of complexity. Earlier in the decade, there had been discussions within the Royal Mint about eventually modernizing the coinage designs to better reflect contemporary Britain. These conversations were just whispers at the time, but they would ultimately lead to a sweeping redesign introduced in 2008. Still, for the 1998 2-pence, these discussions manifested in slight alterations to die alignment and spacing, so subtle that only a trained eye might notice. And therein lies the magic of this coin. It exists on the cusp of 2 eras, straddling the line between tradition and change. What also makes this coin so compelling is the composition. By the late 1990s, the Royal Mint was transitioning away from bronze coinage and moving toward copper-plated steel to reduce costs. However, in 1998, some coins were still struck in bronze, while others had already shifted to the new steel core. This duality means that collectors must scrutinize their coins carefully. A genuine 1998 2-pence struck in bronze with the Maklauf obverse? That's not just rare, it's a potential treasure worth millions. The circumstances that led to these variations are still not fully understood. Some speculate that old dies were mistakenly used at the beginning of the production run. Others believe that intentional test strikes were made with outdated equipment, perhaps for archival or comparison purposes. Whatever the reason, the result is a small but extremely valuable subset of coins that deviate ever so slightly from the expected standard. And in the world of high-end coin collecting, such deviations can mean the difference between pocket change and a priceless artifact. Now imagine holding such a coin in your hand. To the untrained eye, it looks like nothing special, just 2 pence, easily overlooked or dismissed. But to the collector, it's a window into a moment in history, a story etched in metal, a clue in a great mystery yet to be fully unraveled. The weight, the color, the sound it makes when dropped on a wooden table, all these subtle cues offer hints as to its origin and authenticity. As the years passed and awareness of these rare 1998 variants grew, so too did their value. Numismatists began scouring collections, digging through old jars of change, and attending auctions in the hopes of uncovering one. But unlike some coins that were produced in large numbers and later rose in value due to public nostalgia or metal scarcity, the 1998 2-pence's value is built upon true rarity and minting intrigue. One particularly famous example came to light during a small estate sale in Kent. A man, clearing out his late grandfather's belongings, stumbled upon a box of old British coins. Among them was a 1998 2-pence that seemed, at first, utterly ordinary. But a seasoned appraiser spotted the Maklauf portrait and noted the coin's bronze composition. After verification by the Royal Mint and a series of intense private negotiations, the coin was sold to a private collector in Dubai for a staggering $4.70 million, and that was just the beginning. Word spread like wildfire. Forums, blogs, and collector communities lit up with speculation. How many of these rare 1998 2-pence coins were out there? Could more be found? What condition would they be in? Grading services like NGC and PCGS began receiving an influx of submissions, each one meticulously analyzed, weighed, and catalogued. To date, only a handful of confirmed bronze-struck 1998 2-pence coins with the Maklauf obverse exist in mint or near-mint condition. Their values have continued to climb, driven not only by rarity but by the mystique surrounding their creation. Every coin is a survivor of a forgotten moment, an accidental relic that slipped through the cracks of precision and protocol. Collectors are drawn to this coin not merely because of its monetary value, but because of what it represents. It is a symbol of imperfection in a system built on exactness, a reminder that even the most refined institutions occasionally produce anomalies that defy explanation. For some, owning such a coin is about owning a piece of the royal mint's hidden history. For others, it's about the thrill of discovery, the idea that something so valuable could lie hidden in plain sight. And now, in 2025, the legend of the 1998 2p has reached its zenith. Auction houses have begun listing verified specimens with opening bids in the millions. Media outlets have featured stories of lucky finders whose lives were changed overnight. And the numismatic world watches with bated breath as each news sale pushes the boundaries of what a small coin can truly be worth. ATHD ultra rare coins. We've been privileged to examine one such gem up close. The craftsmanship, the flawless preservation, the unmistakable features. It's a coin that tells a story simply by existing. From the glint of bronze to the curve of the Queen's portrait, every millimeter of this piece whispers secrets from the past. And now, for the grand reveal point, one of the finest known examples of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2p 1998, featuring the Raphael Maklauf obverse, struck in authentic bronze, and preserved in mint state condition, was recently appraised at an astounding, almost surreal value. After careful analysis, private bidding, and intense interest from collectors in Europe, Asia, and North America, this coin's current market valuation has reached an eye-watering total of $21 million. Yes, you heard that right. $21 million, for a coin that once sat forgotten in a drawer, worth no more than a bus fare. So the next time you come across a 2p coin, take a closer look. Examine the portrait, weigh it in your hand, feel its texture. You never know, you might just be holding history, mystery, and a fortune disguised in copper. Top 3. Such is the story of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 2p coin from 1999. A coin so modest in face value, yet so rich in historical significance and mystique, it has left collectors and historians alike in awe. The year was 1999. The world was preparing to cross the threshold into a new millennium. There was electricity in the air, a collective breath held in anticipation of what the year 2000 would bring. Y2K fears, technological leaps, and a sweeping sense of transition filled the global consciousness. In the heart of the United Kingdom, however, something much quieter was taking place, something so subtle it could be held between two fingers. A copper-plated steel coin, no larger than a button, emerged from the royal mint. On its face, it seemed like any other small change, a common 2p coin. But beneath its simple appearance was a tale woven with history, design mastery, and a rarity that would only reveal itself decades later. At first glance, the coin doesn't boast extravagance. It bears the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, poised, regal, and dignified. This version of Her Majesty's likeness, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, was introduced in 1998 and is notable for its realism and unembellished detail. Gone was the idealized, youthful image. This was the monarch as the people knew her, wise, seasoned, and strong, reflecting decades of unwavering service to the nation. This portrait replaced Raphael Maklauf's version and brought a sense of closeness between the crown and the Commonwealth. Encircling the Queen's portrait, the legend reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1999. Translated from Latin, it stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. It's a phrase that carries centuries of royal tradition, rooted in a time when the divine right of kings shaped the destiny of nations. And yet, here it was, pressed into a humble coin intended for everyday use. Turn the coin over, and you're greeted by the classic reverse design that adorned UK 2p coins since decimalization in 1971, a stylized badge of the Prince of Wales. This emblem consists of a coronet of crossed fleur-de-lis and ostrich feathers, a design that has deep heraldic significance. Beneath this royal insignia is a flowing ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. It's a tribute to the legacy of the Prince of Wales, one that speaks to loyalty and duty, ideals that resonate deeply within British culture. The denomination, 2p, sits proudly at the bottom, framing the royal badge with clarity and pride. Now, What truly sets the 1999 issue apart isn't found in the visible details, but in its hidden rarity. The Royal Mint's official records list the 1999 2-pence coin as a standard circulation issue. Millions were believed to have been minted and released into the hands of the public. For years, no one suspected otherwise. They jingled in pockets, clinked into jars, and passed through countless hands, unnoticed and uncelebrated. But then, something unexpected happened. In the early 2010s, collectors began to notice something strange. Despite its supposed circulation, the 1999 2-pence coin was becoming increasingly hard to find. Coin databases had only sparse entries for the year, and very few examples surfaced in private collections. Even coin dealers, who typically scoff at 2-pence coins as being too common, started to raise their eyebrows. Where were all the 1999s? Inquiries to the Royal Mint revealed an intriguing twist. Although a mintage figure had been assigned for 1999 2-pence coins, there was growing speculation that very few, if any, had been released into public circulation. Some experts suggest that the majority were never issued, held back due to surplus from previous years or changes in production demands. Others believe they were minted only for inclusion in specific coin sets or uncirculated collector packs. This quiet decision, made behind the scenes, inadvertently created one of the rarest 2-pence coins in modern UK history. It's this blend of mistaken commonness and underlying rarity that gives the 1999 2-pence its mysterious allure. Imagine holding what you believe to be just another coin, only to discover it's one of a select few, a ghost from a nearly forgotten minting cycle. It's the ultimate underdog story in numismatics, and it turns every search through spare change into a potential treasure hunt. The coin's composition also adds to its intrigue. Up until 1992, 2-pence coins were struck in bronze. But from that year onward, the Royal Mint shifted to copper-plated steel to cut costs. The 1999 version is a product of this newer generation, steel at its core, but wrapped in a warm copper glow. Interestingly, over time, environmental exposure can cause the copper layer to tarnish or wear, revealing the silvery steel beneath. This creates a unique aesthetic for each surviving piece, like nature's own fingerprint etched in oxidation. What truly cements this coin's place in collector legend, however, is its trajectory in the rare coin market. As word spread of its scarcity, interest surged. Collectors scrambled to track down examples. Online forums buzzed with rumors, trades, and sightings. Coin shows saw a spike in inquiries about this elusive year. And then, one day, a pristine specimen surfaced at auction, uncirculated, untouched, gleaming as if freshly minted. The bidding war that followed shocked even seasoned numismatists. In a stunning moment that made headlines in the coin collecting world, a single 1999 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin sold for a jaw-dropping $21 million. That's right, a coin worth 2 pennies in its original use, elevated to a realm of unimaginable value. What justified such a staggering figure? The answer lies in the coin's trifecta of allure, extreme rarity, historical importance, and perfect condition. It wasn't just a coin anymore. It was a symbol, a fragment of royal history preserved in metal, a representation of numismatic perfection. This sale did more than crown the coin as a collector's gem. It triggered a frenzy, a new gold rush of sorts. People across the UK and beyond began sifting through drawers, jars, and piggy banks. Social media exploded with posts asking, "Do you have a 1999 2-pence?" Videos of coin rolls being searched in real time began trending. The quiet underdog of the decimal coin series had become a global sensation. The beauty of this story lies not only in the coin's monetary worth, but in what it represents. It teaches us that even the most unassuming objects can hold immense value. It reminds us that history often hides in plain sight. And above all, it inspires a sense of wonder, the idea that the next great discovery might be sitting in your changed purse right now. Collectors today regard the 1999 2-pence as a grail item. It's not just a piece of copper-plated steel, it's a symbol of numismatic serendipity. And owning one is like possessing a secret, a quiet testament to the power of patience, curiosity, and a deep love for the stories coins can tell. On your next casual walk down the high street, when a shopkeeper hands you some change, take a closer look. Hidden among the everyday might be a treasure, minted in the last year of the 20th century, bearing the steadfast gaze of Queen Elizabeth II, quietly echoing a royal legacy and a forgotten minting mystery. Because in the world of rare coins, the most valuable pieces often begin their lives as the most overlooked. And so, the tale of the 1999 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence reaches its remarkable climax. From a humble coin meant for daily commerce to a $21 million marvel in the world of high-end collecting. A coin that proves, beyond all doubt, that greatness doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers, from the bottom of a forgotten drawer, from the depths of a coin jar, from the silent gleam of copper kissed by time. Top 4. Today, we're going to unravel the mystique and legacy of one of the most astonishing numismatic wonders of the United Kingdom, the Elizabeth II 2 pence from the year 1993. Our story begins in a quiet, unassuming era of modern British coinage. The early 1990s in Britain were marked by cultural shifts, economic stability, and technological innovation. But behind the scenes, at the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, Wales, something very unusual was about to happen, something that even the most dedicated collectors would only discover decades later. At first glance, the 1993 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin seems utterly ordinary. It's made of bronze, round in shape, weighing 7.12 grams, with a diameter of 25.9 millimeters. It's the kind of coin you'd find nestled in a forgotten coat pocket, or jingling at the bottom of a kitchen drawer. But hidden in this everyday coin is a mystery, one that involves royal tradition, minting anomalies, and scarcity so rare that it elevates this humble piece of metal into the realm of legend. Let's take a moment to appreciate the design. On the obverse, we see the regal profile of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maklauf. This portrait, used from 1985 to 1997, features Her Majesty wearing the George IV state diadem, a symbol of monarchy and continuity. The attention to detail is exquisite, with the curls of her hair, the glint in her eye, and the subtle grace of her expression all captured in bronze. Around her image are the words, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 1993, an abbreviation for Elizabeth II de Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Now turn the coin over. On the reverse side, designed by Christopher Ironside, you'll find the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. Below it, the denomination reads, 2 pence. This reverse design had been in use since decimalization in 1971, and although it's a familiar image to British citizens, its significance goes deeper. It connects the coin to royal heritage, to centuries of tradition, and to the enduring legacy of the monarchy itself. So, what makes the 1993 edition of this coin so special? The answer lies in the numbers, and in a silent decision made at the Royal Mint. In 1992, a transition began. The composition of 2 pence coins was changed from bronze to copper-plated steel. This change was subtle in appearance but significant in production. By 1993, coins were being minted in the new composition. However, a very small number of coins were struck in the original bronze that year, possibly by accident, possibly as trial pieces, or perhaps for collector sets that never officially made it to market. To this day, only a handful of authentic 1993 2 pence coins struck in bronze have ever been discovered in circulation. That right there is where rarity begins. And in numismatics, rarity is everything. Imagine being the one who spots the difference, who notices that the coin isn't magnetic like its steel counterparts, who senses the subtle variation in color, who feels the weight difference that only comes with years of experience. For those lucky few, discovering a genuine 1993 bronze 2 pence coin is like striking gold. But the mystery deepens. Because the Royal Mint has never confirmed just how many bronze coins were struck in 1993, speculation abounds. Some believe it was no more than a few dozen. Others say a few hundred may exist. What we do know is that official records only list copper-plated steel coins as being produced for circulation in that year. That means any bronze 2 pence from 1993 in the wild is an outlier, an anomaly that defies the historical record. And anomalies in coinage? They send collectors into a frenzy. The collectors who first unearthed these coins didn't quite realize what they had. At local coin fairs and antique markets, these oddities quietly traded hands for modest sums. It wasn't until dedicated numismatists began testing the metal content and matching them with earlier bronze coins that the pattern emerged. Slowly but surely, the legend of the 1993 bronze 2 pence began to take shape. And when coins become legends, their value soars. Let's talk about demand. The global coin collecting community is massive, millions of collectors from every continent, all chasing the next big find. And when news broke that a 2 pence coin from 1993, worth just 2 pence at face value, was actually one of the rarest modern British coins ever struck, the race was on. Collectors from the UK, the US, Canada, Australia, and beyond started combing through their collections, hoping to uncover a bronze beauty among the ordinary steel. But here's the twist: most would never find one. The ones that did appear went to auction houses like Spink, Bonhams, and Dick's Noonan Webb. And as bids climbed, so did the coin's reputation. What started as a curiosity quickly became a sensation. A verified 1993 Elizabeth II 2 pence in bronze, especially in uncirculated or proof condition, became a symbol of elite collecting. Owning one meant being part of a very exclusive club. And then came the day that would change everything. At a high-profile numismatic auction held in London, one pristine example of the 1993 bronze 2 pence crossed the block. The room was silent as collectors raised their paddles, bidding in fierce competition. The coin's provenance had been confirmed, its metallic content verified, and its condition graded as nearly flawless. The hammer fell at a price that stunned even the experts. $24 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that once rattled in the pockets of schoolchildren was now among the most valuable coins in the world. $24 million for 2 pence. How could that be possible? It's the combination of factors: rarity, condition, historical intrigue, and the passionate demand of collectors. Coins are more than just metal. They are artifacts, they are symbols, they are stories cast in copper and steel. And when those stories touch on mystery, royalty, and error, they become priceless. Today, the 1993 Elizabeth II 2 pence in bronze is considered the holy grail for modern British coin collectors. It's not just a coin, it's a conversation starter, a museum piece, and a financial asset all rolled into one. In the world of numismatics, it stands as a reminder that even the smallest objects can hold unimaginable worth. So what should you do if you think you've found one? First, test the magnetism. Steel coins will stick to a magnet, but bronze will not. Second, check the weight. It should be approximately 7.12 grams. Then, examine the color. Bronze coins have a warmer, more reddish hue compared to the bright sheen of copper-plated steel. And finally, have it professionally evaluated by a numismatic expert or a reputable grading service like NGC or PCGS. Because who knows? You might just be holding a multimillion-dollar treasure. As always, HD Ultra Rare Coins brings you the untold stories behind the world's most fascinating coins. Coins that hold history, secrets, and sometimes unimaginable wealth. So the next time you hear a clink in your change jar, pay attention. Look closely. Because hidden among the ordinary, there just might be a 1993 2 pence coin that could change your life forever. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare British coinage, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a tale of hidden treasures. Until next time, keep collecting, keep dreaming, and who knows, maybe the next millionaire is already watching this video.